Hello everyone, myself Purushotham, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, MLR. So in this session, I am going to discuss about the string buffer class. So this is the overview of this session. So first I will explain what is the string buffer class, next string buffer class methods, and last I will explain some sample examples. Okay, so let's get started today's session. Now, so what is the string buffer class? So string buffer is a class which is present inside a java.lang package. So string buffer is a class, it is a class and which is present inside java.lang package. So java.lang is a default package. So default package, which is a default package, no need to import this package. So string buffer class is used to create a mutable string, modifiable string we can create. So the string and string buffer exactly same, the difference is what the mutable. So string buffer is a mutable object and string is a immutable object. It's a immutable object, and this one string buffer is a mutable object. The immutable means not modifiable. String buffers are safe for use by multiple threads. Means here all the methods inside a string buffer class are the synchronized methods. The synchronized methods means only one thread is allowed to access any method. Multiple threads are trying to access those methods. Only one thread will be allowed at a time. Means, so it is a thread safe. So we can create a string buffer in different ways. So here these are the constructors. First constructor is the default constructor, string buffer class with no argument. Okay, so suppose if you are using this constructor, now what will happen means it will create a string buffer. So here it will create a string buffer with the default initial capacity with a 16. Okay, so here you can also use one more constructor. So that is what a string buffer with string. Okay, so here you can specify your own string. So whatever the string you want, you can specify. So with the specified string, it will create what the string buffer, and one more string buffer constructor is there. So it will accept what capacity. Okay, so here in previous case, if you are not passing the capacity, it will take the default capacity is a 16, and initially if you want to set your own capacity, if you are not satisfied with the 16 capacity, you can pass your own capacity. Okay, that will take what the initial capacity here. Okay, so all these constructor and methods now we will see one by one. So these are some methods are present inside a string buffer class. So append method, length method, capacity method, caret, delete, delete caret, ensure, capacity, insert, length, reverse and replace. Okay, so these methods I will explain one by one with programmatically. Okay, so now see. First append method. So as I mentioned, string buffer is a mutable object, means here you can append a string. So this method will update the value of the object that invoked the method, means whether not the return the assigned value here, means nothing is there here. So using append method you can append string, means whatever the string you are passing here, so that will be append here. So suppose if I take an example, so here I create a string buffer class. Here I mentioned the string buffer class. Now what will happen means, here it will create an object. And in this object here the object data means here you are passing some string. So initially object will be create, and inside object you are passing some string. The string is a Java. Now here you are performing some operation on this existing object. So this object is pointing to SB. Now on SB you are performing what appending operation and the next step. Okay, means you are performing appending operation. So instead of creating new object, it will perform operations on the, means append operation on the same object, means here only it will perform like Java programming. So SB is pointing to this object. Suppose if you are printing SB here, so it will print the Java programming. In previous case, in string class, it will create a separate object. If you are performing what the concatenation operation, it will create a separate object. But here, it will create a same object, and if you want to perform any operations, you can perform on same object here. Okay, so that is this is the reason why Java is a mutable object. So coming to insert method. So in insert method, we need to pass two parameters. One is offset, means the second one is a string. So as name suggests, using insert method you can perform what? Insertion operation. Okay. So here we need to pass the two arguments. One is what? Your index, and second one is what? Your string. Okay. So suppose if you take an example here. So here I created a string buffer object. Here I created a string buffer object, means it will create a object in the heap area. Now it will, SB is a pointing to this object. Initially this is having Java, right? And in fourth index you are performing what? Insertion operation. So insertion operation, so this is the inserting string. Okay, so here Java means 0, 1, 2, 3, and the fourth index you are performing insertion operation. So after Java you are performing insert operation, means here it will take what? A Python. You are performing insertion operation on the object. So object SB is a pointing to this one, SB1. So SB1 is a pointing to this object. So here you are printing what? SB1. So whenever you are printing SB1, so it will print the object, means Java Python it will print. Next, set length method. So set length method, so here you can set length to your string, means here in general whenever you are applying the length method on string object, it will return the number of characters. It will return number of characters. And the set length means you can set your own length to any string. Okay. So suppose if I take an example here, I have a string buffer. Here I have a string buffer object, and the string buffer object, it will create an object, and SB is a pointing to this one. Now here it is containing some content, hello MLR IT. Hello MLR IT. Now here you are printing the length of the string, so it will return some length, and here you are setting the length. Here you are setting the length. Length is what? Here the 5. So the 5 you are setting means it will take the first 5 characters, means HELLO. Okay, total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here it will print what? Only hello. Only hello. Okay, so if you print the length of the string, here it will be 5, and here if you print the length of the string, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here it will print the 10. So previous length is a 10. Now the reset length, okay, reset length is a 5 here. Okay, so here if you print SB after performing the set length method, it will print only hello. Okay, so if you want, you can see here. So here I am creating a string buffer object. String buffer SB equals to new string buffer. Okay, so in string buffer I am passing hello MLR IT, hello MLR IT, and so initially I want to print the number of characters of the string buffer. So pass length. Now it will return the number of characters. Now after that SB dot set length. So here I am passing 5, and I will print the resultant string. What it will print, I want to see. So here I am passing what? SB, and after that, so system.out.println SB dot and length I want to check. Okay, now you can see here initially it will print the 10 characters. So string buffer is having what? The 10 characters, and after performing set length method, so set length means here it will consider only first 5 characters. Here it will consider only first 5 characters. So that first 5 character after performing the set length, so this string buffer will be modified to only the first 5 characters, and it will print SB. So SB is what? Here it will print only hello. And if you want to check how many number of characters in updated string buffer object, means it will print only 5. Why? Means this hello contains only 5 characters and it will print 5 only. So coming to the capacity. So the capacity method of the string buffer class is used to return the buffer capacity. So it will return the capacity of the string buffer class. Okay, so by default it will take the 16 character space. So if you are not passing any capacity argument to the string buffer, so by default this string buffer will return the 16 character capacity. Okay. So by calling this method, we can calculate the its current capacity. Okay. So if you want to know the what capacity of any string buffer, you can use this method, a capacity method. Okay. So but by default, the string buffer it will take, if you are not mention anything, if you are not passing any argument to the string buffer class, the by default it will take the 16 character space. So suppose if you take an example, and the capacity always returns integer only, the capacity method always returns only integer. So if you take an example here, so here I created a string buffer object here. So here we are not passing any argument here, we are not passing any string, we are not passing any capacity. So by default it will take the capacity is a 16. As I mentioned, the default capacity of the string buffer is a 16. So 16 here you are printing the capacity, initial capacity. Now here I am inserting 16 characters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So the capacity of the string buffer is a 16 and I loaded 16 characters inside, I loaded 16 character inside a string buffer. Now S is pointing here, the default capacity of the string buffer is a 16. Now I loaded what 16 characters, I loaded 16 characters here. Now if you print the capacity here, the no problem, again still it is what the 16 only. Now if you are trying to insert one more character, then the capacity will be update. Means here suppose if you are inserting, if you are appending one more string, okay, now what will happen means your capacity will be changed. Means here the capacity will be like, it will take the previous capacity plus 1, capacity plus 1, capacity plus 1 into 2. So this is the updated capacity, means the previous capacity is 16 plus 1 means the total 17, 17 into 2, okay, so total 34. The updated capacity is a 34 here. So if you are inserting one character, the default capacity will be changed to what? The 34. Okay, the previous capacity plus 1 into 2. Okay, so the formula which is the following here. Now you can see initially 16 character space it will take, and after reaching the maximum size also still it is a 16 only. Okay, but after reaching the maximum size and if you are inserting one more character, so the capacity will be upgrade to what? The 34. So how it is a 34 means the previous capacity is a 16, 16 plus 1 into 2, okay, total 34. So this is the updated capacity. Now, so ensure capacity. So ensure capacity means you can also set your own capacity. Okay, so in general in string buffer constructor itself you can pass the capacity, how much you want you can set, or else later also you can change the capacity. Okay, so suppose I want to later after creating string buffer and later I want to change the capacity of the string buffer, yes you can change. Okay, by using a special method is there, by using ensure method you can increase the capacity. Okay, so using ensure method, using ensure capacity method, you can what? Mention the capacity of the string buffer. Okay, so here if the current capacity is less than the argument, then the new internal array is allocated the greater capacity here. Okay, so suppose assume in the string buffer capacity already the default is a 16 and you are mentioned in ensure capacity, suppose if you are passing 34, okay, now it will consider the 34 only. Okay, but sometimes you may give the less capacity. In such cases like the default capacity is a 16, the default capacity is a 16, and if you are passing like if you are passing the ensure capacity with a 4, okay, but it will take only the 16 only. Okay, now or else in string, if you are in string buffer you mention something like hello, right? Now here hello 1 2 3 4 5, okay, total 5 plus 16. So initial capacity is a 21 here. So if you mention 16, but it will take only 21. Suppose if you take an example, you can see here, I created a string buffer, so it will create a object, yes is a pointing to this one, and the default capacity here, the default capacity of the string buffer is a 16. Now here hello, hello, hello and hello, so total 1, 2, 3, 4, so total, so 20 character I inserted. Okay, so here the ensure capacity now it is 100. Okay, now the previous capacity is 20, but the updated capacity is 100. Now it will take only 100. But if you are taking the 10, it will take the 20 only. Okay, so suppose if you take an example, you can see string buffer s equals to new string buffer. Okay, now the initial capacity, now we'll check. So here s dot capacity method, the initial capacity is 16. Now I will insert some values, like I will append some value, like hello I want to insert. So total 20 characters I inserted. Now here s dot and ensure capacity I am calling, ensure capacity. Now here I will mention 100. Now if you check the capacity, system dot out dot println s dot capacity. Now you can see the previous capacity is a 16, the previous capacity is a 16, and here I mention what 100. Okay, so if you are passing the 100, now what will happen means, so 100 is a greater than the 16, so it will take only the 100 but not 16. Okay, here suppose if you are passing like 10, but it will take what, 34. See here, after reaching the maximum size of 16, so the next updated capacity is a 34, so it will consider only 34 but not a 10. Even if you mention, if you call the ensure capacity 10, it will not consider, it will consider only 34. Okay, the default capacity, initial capacity is 64. After inserting this many characters, after reaching the maximum size of the string buffer, so the next updated capacity is a 34. Okay, but after setting 34 capacity, and here again you are resetting to ensure capacity with 10. Okay, in such cases the 10 will be ignored here. So coming to trim to size, the trim to size method, of the string buffer class in Java is used to reduce the storage used for the character sequence. Means you can trim the size of your string buffer. Okay, so suppose assume here initially you are allocated, suppose in string buffer you are allocated 1000 characters, but you used only 100 characters, the remaining 900 characters are waste. Okay, so if you want to remove that waste capacity, you can use what, a trim to size method. Okay, so here if the capacity of the buffer is greater than the necessary to keep the current sequence, then the size of the buffer may be resized to be more space efficient. Means, as I mentioned just now, so suppose assume here I have a string buffer, guys. Initially I created a string buffer and it will create an object, and initial capacity is 100. The capacity is 100 now. But here I appended, so SB is pointing to this object, but I appended only the 5 characters. I appended only 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here the 5 characters means the remaining 95 character capacity is a wastage only. Now this 95 capacity I want to reduce, means I want to trim that size. So in such cases we need to call the trim to size method. Simple, as simple as that. And if you call the capacity, and it will print the current capacity, that is only the 5 it will print. Okay, so if you want, you can see the same points the programmatically. Here you can see, here I will pass 100 initial capacity, If you want, you can see the capacity now, s dot the capacity. Now I will use only the 5 characters, assume. So here I am using only 5 characters and the remaining 95 characters are waste only. Okay. Now here I want to remove what the remaining 95 characters. Okay. So here what we need to do means, after appending you need to call trim to size method. Okay. So again, if you want to check the capacity, you can check s dot capacity. Now you can see initially in string buffer constructor itself you are passing 100, means the initial capacity of the string buffer is 100, and out of 100 character capacity, here I am using only 5 characters. Okay, the remaining 95 characters are waste only. Okay, in such cases you can call the trim to size method, so that the unwanted space characters capacity will be removed here. Okay, so and it will print the 5. Okay, why it is a printing 5 means, here the characters, how many characters it is occupying, only 5, so 5 it is a printing. So that is the meaning of the trim to. So delete and delete caret. So delete, as name suggests, using delete method you can delete the characters, and delete caret method means, using delete caret method you can delete a character at specified index. So here delete method, it removes the characters in substring of this sequence. Okay, and here we need to pass the 2 arguments, one is the begin index and second one is the end index. Okay, so here whenever you are passing the end index, it will take end minus 1. Okay, so suppose if you are passing like delete of 1 and 7, means the 7 means it will take 1 to 6 only, it will take 1 to 6. And the delete caret method means delete a character at a specified index. So here in caret method we need to pass the index value. Okay, so suppose in caret if you are passing the 5, means the 5th character index it will be delete automatically. Okay, just like a caret method, and here just we are applying the delete operation, simple. So suppose if you take an example, you can see here. So here I have A, B, C, D, F, G, H to what P. Okay, so here the before deleting it will print every character. It will print every character in my string buffer, and here I want to delete 2 to 5. So 2 to 5 means here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 2 to 5 means, so here 2, 2 and 4 it will take. Okay, 5 means 5 minus 1, the 4, it will consider only 2, 3, 4, means C, D, E. Okay, so it will delete. See here, so C, D, E it is deleting. Okay, so F is there here. And delete char at, so delete char at here I am passing 0, 0 means the starting index I am removing. So whenever you are passing what caret of index 0 means the starting will be removed. So you can see here it is a printing what BF, means A is removed here, simple. So here simple, the difference between the delete and the delete caret means, delete means it will delete the sequence of characters, and there we need to mention starting index and ending index, and the delete caret means here we need to pass only one character. Okay, so it will delete only one character at a time. So specified index it will take, and based on that index that character will be delete. Next, so replace method. So as name suggests, using the replace method you can replace whatever you want. Okay, so here I mentioned here I appended a string like A to P, and here I mentioned 0 to 5, and in 0 to 5 I want to insert a high. Okay, so in such cases it will print what high here, it will print high 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so it will take the till 4 only, so it will take, instead of E here it will take high, and the rest of the string it will be print. And reverse method. So as name suggests, using reverse method you can reverse the string. So suppose if I take an example, here I have a string buffer class, and the string buffer is having some string. Here I am passing some string, and Java is my favorite programming language. Now I want to reverse this string. Okay, simply you can apply this predefined method, reverse method. Now what will happen means this entire string will be what? A reverse. So these are the some methods in a string buffer class. Okay. So coming to the summary of this session. So in this session we have discussed the following topics: a string buffer class we discuss, the string and string buffer class we discuss, and the string buffer class methods we discuss, like append method, insert method, delete caret method, trim to size method, okay, set length method. So we have discussed about the different types of methods which are available in the string buffer classes, and some sample examples also we have covered. Okay, so that's about this session. Thank you.